Okay, have I got quite the dish for you too? Oh, right, we're doing this. Ah, no. Okay, okay. Have I got quite the dish for you today? I was on my way home from the conventions and stuff, and I'll be sure to talk about that at some other point. I just wanted to get on recording right now and talk about some stuff that happened, some little drama that happened in a server involving a couple of people who've been in some of my episodes, Azura and Ellie. Uh, Flat out, strictly speaking, those two. A couple of days ago, Azura and I made a joke at the expense of, like, Americans in general. Azura had made a joke, or Azura had made, like, a funny comment, whatever. I made a joke. Apparently, Ellie was super insanely upset about it. Like, to the point where she couldn't even tell me that she was upset.
All right.
She was so upset that she refused to even say as much. So I was supposed to know that she was upset and apologize and stuff. Well, Ellie was having some issues with her internet provider, but apparently the only choices were either to keep with that one, which, you know, having issues with, or go to one that just flat out sucks. And so Azura had said, oh, why, like, what is it with Americans and only ever having a two-party system? And so I said, it's like, oh, well, it's like, oh, well, they can't count any higher, ha ha ha. And then Ellie was all like, well, I guess this conversation only needs two people then two, huh? And, like, immediately left. And so like, the only reason why Ellie was in there complaining on and on and on and on about her internet service provider was because Azura had invited, like, 5 or 6 people to just try to play some games together. So, yeah. So, yeah, Azura was in, like, you know, general chat waiting for people. I was in there as well. We were waiting for some people. Ellie came in. She had been complaining about her ISP for, like, 2 or 3 days. Well, not necessarily not actually nonstop, but she'd been complaining about them in, like, general chat, like, multiple text chats on the server for days about all of that. Like, we had both seen, like, the comments that she had been leaving, both responding to things. Like, we were both aware of what was going on. So she pops into this voice chat where the two of us are talking about, like, oh, hey, I wonder who's going to join us. I wonder what we should try playing, blah, blah, blah. And she's all, hey, let me tell you about this issue that I've been having anyway, and talk about that for several minutes. Like, I haven't been talking about it constantly for the last several days. Because you want to hear about my problems, right? You came on here to, you didn't come on here to play games, right? You came on here to hear about my problems and hear me talk about me, right? That's all you care about, right? And we were listening anyway, because that's what friends do. Listen to each other about their problems. Something is really stressing someone out. Yeah, be friendly, lend an ear. But of course, we're here to, you know, have fun. We're going to make a few jokes here and there. That's a thing that we're just doing. So we make this little joke. It's like, oh, well, that's because Americans can't count past 2. And so Ellie gets super mad at that and immediately leaves. Azura keeps joining on, like, adding to the joke. It's like, oh, that's why Valve can't ever release a 3rd game, because they're an American company. They can't count past 2 either. Ha ha ha. Azura was definitely in with the jokes as well. She was finding them funny. And then she's like, oh, well, you should apologize to Ellie. She's, like, super upset by this. It's like, okay, cool. If she wants me to apologize, she can message me herself and tell me, hey, I found that to be, like, hurtful and disrespectful on a personal level. Well, it's like, and I found that to be me, and, like, she could have been, you know, came to me and told me about it. And then I probably would have apologized. If she had come to me herself to say that she had found it hurtful, I could have apologized. But she didn't. And apparently she didn't even tell Azura that it was hurtful either. Azura just guessed that she had found it hurtful and decided, oh, well, you should apologize because I think that you hurt her feelings. I thought that Ellie was just telling Azura, but apparently, according to Azura, no.
Right. Oh.
According to Azura, that wasn't the case. She was just guessed that Ellie's feelings were hurt and that I should apologize, but apparently, Ellie never actually told her anything about that. And Azura even said, oh, well, Ellie is not the sort of person to just insult a group of people like that. You were being way out of line and mean. Despite the fact that Azura, you know, kept pushing the joke forward. Like, Azura herself added to the joke. It wasn't like I'd said that and they were both like, oh, that's over the line. Ellie was angered by it, and then, like, immediately afterwards, Azura's like, oh, by the way, here's more stuff. It's like, here's some stuff to assist your joke. Ha 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 ha. It's fun poking fun at Americans. It's like, so Azura was in on the joke until she found out that her girlfriend's feelings were hurt. And then, oh, nope, suddenly I'm the jerk. Because I was the one that made the joke. Azura would never say such a thing. And Azura even told me flat out that Ellie is not the sort of person who would ever, ever, ever make fun of a group of people, ever. So, anyway, a couple of...
Thanks.
Okay, so, let's try to do it chronologically from my perspective here. And this was, like, last week or something, like, before I left on my trip. I'm pretty sure.
All together now.
On my way home from the trip, I'm in the Discord, in the games chat, posting about, like, because Gloomhaven is coming to the Epic Game Store soon. On, I think, like, the 22nd, it's going to be free on the Epic Game Store. So I was posting, like, hey, who wants to play this together? Who wants to, like, form up into, and, like, set up, like, a once per week, you know, group game? Just, you know, get together, maybe play 2 scenarios per session. Just make a Let's Play about it. I did specifically say make a Let's Play about it. Quite a few people on the server stream. Like, if any of you want to stream the game while we're playing it, that would be awesome. It's like, I'm totally cool with that. And then Ellie comes on to respond. Then Ellie starts responding. It's like, oh yeah, I played that game with you and Azura briefly, and it sucked, and it was horrible. And I can't believe anyone ever actually enjoying such a thing. It's like, I can't imagine actually enjoying such a soul-sucking waste of time. Not those exact words, but she did say it was like soul-sucking or soul-crushing or soul-draining. It's something along those lines. But basically, she just came on and just started bad-mouthing the game like crazy. It's like, oh, you're trying to get people to play a game with you? Well, screw you. I'm going to say that the game sucks, so no one's going to want to play it, even for free. And then it's like, oh, but I'll still try playing it with you. Because what kind of person would I be if I said something was bad if I never actually tried it myself? It's like, what kind of a person would I be if I did that?
Thanks.
Yeah, no, she says, like, oh, well, what kind of person would I be if I said it was bad without ever trying it? Oh, so I'm going to give it a shot, because it's like, so, okay. So according to her, she has tried it and said that's why she says that it sucks and that she doesn't like it. But also, she hasn't played it and wants to try it because somebody has a reputation for saying that games suck when they've never actually tried them themselves. Now, I don't think that I'm the sort of person to just say that a game sucks if I've never actually tried it. I'll definitely say, oh, that game doesn't look good, if I think that it doesn't look good. But I'm not the sort of person to actually flat out say that, like, a game is bad without trying it.
Nice.
But I'll definitely say if a game looks bad. like if something's like an obvious like Minecraft ripoff, I'll like say it's like, yeah, that looks like a Minecraft ripoff, and then I don't really need to have anyone screaming at me, oh, you don't know that's a Minecraft ripoff. It's like, I didn't say that was. I said it looked like one. I've seen a picture. It looks like one.
Nice.
You know, like, sort of a thing. What time is it anyway? Only about 5 p.m. I only got one thing. Ugh. Yeah, sure, fine. Okay, but whatever. And then I had like said, it's like, remember, this is all in like, you know, one of the public chats on the server. I said, it's like, hey, it's like, you're kind of being like, it's like, all this thing is saying is like, kind of like, really rude. And then she's all like, oh, is this any less rude than saying that I'm an idiot because I'm an American? Or saying that I can't count past 2 because I'm an American? And it's like, I didn't say that I didn't say that, like, specifically about you. I was saying, like, I was saying, like, a joke. You understand how jokes work. I know you understand how jokes work. You post in meme chat, like, every single day, making jokes. You know how jokes work. But yeah, that was, like, you know, a week after the fact is when she finally blew up and got all angry and, like, told me that she was angry about it. And so I was venting / complaining about that whole behavior thing to Azura and to Chandra. And Azura is all like, oh, well, you should have apologized anyway. You should have known that what you were saying was mean, and you should have apologized to her for being so mean. Like, I told you to apologize when you did it. Why didn't you apologize to her? You should have apologized. You knew that you were being mean. It's like, it doesn't matter that you weren't meaning to be mean. She says that you were mean, and so you were mean. And Chandra told me that apparently, Ellie had made her own generalization about Canadians just a couple of months ago, saying that Canadians are lazy and get on, like, government aid and stuff, and that Chandra was very much upset by what Ellie had said. And that Azura, who has stated to me flat out that absolutely that Ellie is not the sort of person to make generalizations about people, had made a generalization that Ellie did in fact make a generalization about Canadians in front of Azura herself and Chandra, and it was, like, very pointed and directed. So I, you know, made a mention of that in general chat right as soon as I heard about it. It's like, hey, yo, Ellie, what's this about you, like, calling Canadians lazy? And that got me in hot water. Azura, like, saw that one particular post I made. It's like, oh, well, you shouldn't be so mean to Ellie like that. It's like, she never said that. It's like, oh yeah, she was in a voice chat with you and Chandra a few months ago, and she said it. I don't remember that. Oh wait, I remember that. She didn't mean it. It's like, well, but she did say it. It's like, oh, she was having a bad day, so she didn't really mean it. It was fine. It was fine. I think that she wasn't being mean, so she wasn't being mean. And it just brings to mind the sheer depression that I had living with my dad and stepmom for, you know, all those years in, like, high school and, like, post-high school, trying to get a job and whatnot, and having a job where whatever my stepmom says is correct. My dad was, like, so just wanting to be on her good side, and so it's like, yep, you say this, absolutely, I believe you, honey. So, like, nobody could be on my side. And it's basically the same thing is happening with Azura here. Where there's two arguments going on.
Thanks.
One of, oh well, Ellie didn't mean to be mean, so what she did wasn't mean. And, oh well, Ellie says that what you said was mean, even though you didn't intend to be mean, so it was mean. So, because Ellie didn't mean to be mean, it's okay and it's fine and there's nothing wrong with it. But because Ellie thought that I was being mean, I was mean and that's the end of it. However, Ellie was not enough of an adult to have actually told me herself. Like, she could have private messaged me. I don't have it, like, blocked. Like, we're in the same server. We can private message each other. I've private messaged other people that I'm in the server with, who I'm not, you know, Discord friends with. Like, she could have messaged me at any time. She didn't.
Nice.
She would rather complain to, like, go running off to Azura about it because she knows that Azura will do something about it and force me to apologize, than to actually grow up and be an adult and say, hey, what you said hurt my feelings. No, instead she decides to take a joke of, oh, well, that's because Americans can't count past. It's like, oh, why do Americans, no matter what the circumstances, only have a two-party system? Oh, that's because they can't count past two. Haha. And she takes that little joke as a personal insult, as if I had said, quote, because you are an American, you are a moron who can't count past two, unquote. And instead of talking to me about it, like a, you know, civilized, adult, rational person who understands how jokes work and that they exist and what it's like to say something that someone could think of as mean, and how, hey, sometimes people say things that are hurtful without meaning it, and the best response is to, you know, be a rational adult about things and talk about your feelings. Instead, she waits until I'm about to, like, do something else,
Thanks.
and does her best job to try to sabotage it. So yeah, I'm mostly, yeah, for the record, I'm mostly better from the cold or whatever that I had. The only thing is that, I still get a bit of a cough sometimes, if
Up we
I,
go.
particularly if I don't stay hydrated enough. I have a bit of a cough.
Thanks.
It's probably almost to be expected, really. But anyway. So, like,
Okay.
so Ellie never, and Ellie has still never flat out said, hey, the thing that you said it's been a week and she's still, like, vapid about it. She's still like, oh, that Claire, as soon as you say anything in my server, I'm going to attack you. Like, I was there, like, in the games chat, like, trying to get people to, like, play games together, because that's kind of the point of the games chat, is to want to try to play games together. And she was all like, oh no, that game sucks, it's horrible, it's a soul-draining waste of time and energy. Oh, but I'll still play it. I hope that they've changed things from last time I played it. It's like, because she had played Gloomhaven on Tabletop Simulator. She had played like half of a scenario with myself and Azura.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she even played the full scenario. She played like some of it, at least. One half, or maybe she did play the full scenario. I don't recall. And so she's like complaining about how terrible and awful and horrible it is, and then going, oh, but I'll still play it with you anyway. And like, I know where this is going. I know where this is going. She wants to be it's like, she wants to be there in case a group is made. So then she can just complain about the game the entire time we're playing, ruin the experience for all of us, and then people will be like, I don't really want to play anymore. Ellie kind of ruined it for me. And she'd go, ha ha ha, Claire can't make any friends. They'll only be my friends. Even though I ruined this game for them, it was Claire's idea that we all play this together, so they'll stop wanting to play with her. And I could get my revenge. Haha! All because, I mean, to be fair, Ellie has never liked me. Like, I know that. I know that Ellie has never liked me. Like, yeah. Yeah, just like me popping up in like voice chats and stuff, I can like hear the tone of her voice shift as it goes like, oh. Like as soon as I join, it's like, oh. And it's like, I don't know what I had done wrong in the past to make her not like me. The only thing I can think of is because like, because Azura is polyamorous and considers both Ellie and myself to be her girlfriends. And so the only thing I can think of is that Ellie is jealous of me because, yeah, well, her and Azura knew each other for longer. Azura seems to favor me over Ellie. Seems to. Do not say definitively. Said seems to. Because I live physically closer, and thus I've been able to actually like be with Azura, like physically, like face to face, whereas Ellie hasn't been. And so honestly, and Ellie, for whatever reason, refuses to actually talk about anything. Actually with people. So that's my thought of it. Is Ellie is jealous because she thinks that Azura has like dumped her and chosen me instead. Despite that not actually being the case, but polyamory is still one of those things that, I don't know, people still aren't that in detail about or whatever, so it's still one of those things that's seen as evil on the media, right? Like, whatever. But yeah, so yeah, I got myself all stuck in this great big argument of because Ellie found what I said to be rude, that means that I was being mean, and that I should apologize to Ellie, even though she never actually told me that I was being mean. However, since she wasn't meaning to be mean to Chandra, what she said was not mean, and she shouldn't have to apologize to Chandra. And so Azura is like arguing about all of this and blah blah blah, and it's like, oh well, you should, you know, that just apologize, that I shouldn't have tried to like call her out on being mean because I was actually the one being mean the whole time, blah 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 blah, and like I called out, and like while talking with Azura, I'd called out Ellie for being immature and that she needs to grow up. So Azura said, name one person that doesn't apply to. Name one person that statement doesn't apply to. Because I said Ellie needs to grow up. Because, like, someone else, yeah. In the games chat with the whole Gloomhaven, the whole Gloomhaven is awful talk was going on, someone else wound up coming in. Someone else wound up coming in and saying, hey, both of you, please stop this. Take this to DMs. Talk about this privately. Like, Ellie, you don't want to mess up your public persona. Because, like, people who... It's like, you don't want, people to see you acting like this. Because, hey, it's Ellie's server. If, you know, at least I'm pretty sure it's Ellie's server. It says, like, hey, if the people who came in and joined just because of, like, your streams sees that this is the kind of person you are, they're going to spread news about it to your other fans. Like, you're going to lose followers. Like, and all that stuff. Like, you shouldn't be like this in public on your... And still, Ellie's not messaged me. So, what I can say about that. Like, so, Ellie has not said had not said anything about the comment being rude to her, other than the moment that it had happened. And also, her comment about, oh, well, I guess you two are enough for this conversation, or something like that, also screams to me of jealousy. That Ellie is just jealous of me. Which is ridiculous, because... I mean... But jealousy isn't rational. Jealousy is not a rational emotion to have. It is a normal emotion to have, absolutely. Like, you know, happiness, sorrow, anger, whatever. Jealousy is a normal human emotion. However, just like when you have any other emotion, one has to be, you know, one has to take care in how they act with the emotion. Don't start, like, you know, insulting people and hurting feelings just because you're jealous. Like, don't go hurting people and, like, just like, hey, don't go hurting people just because you're angry. That's still a bad thing. Whatever emotion you're feeling does not excuse, you know, hurting people. And of course, there are those who will say, it's like, oh, well, why don't you just apologize and end this whole thing? I'm certain that this is much deeper than just an apology. And frankly, if she had asked me, like, messaged me, you know, when the event happened and said, hey, I think that was, this is mean what you said, or like it really struck nerve with me, and I'm really upset by it, then I would have apologized. If she had asked me to, I would have. But she didn't. Instead, she got upset in the moment that it had happened. And then Azura was the one who kept telling me to apologize. The game night on that night, by the way, never actually happened. Because, of course it didn't. One quick moment. Okay, well, here's apparently something new. According to Chandra just now, when... Oh, wait. What's this? There you go. Right. According to Chandra just now, apparently when Ellie had made that comment, both Chandra and I'm getting names confused. When Ellie made the comment about Canadians being lazy, both Chandra and Azura had told Ellie at that moment that that was mean. I'm getting confirmation from Chandra about it now. Oh my gosh, it's like this is live news bulletin, whatever. While Azura has said that, like... Oh. Okay, wait, hold on. So I said to Azura, oh, your feelings weren't hurt by someone who's supposed to care about you calling you lazy. And as a result, even if she did... ... No, it wouldn't have hurt because I am lazy. Saying that Ellie never actually said that. And Azura's also said that Chandra never told Azura that Chandra was hurt by the comment. And now Chandra is saying that Azura, was just as infuriated at the comment as Chandra was. And that Chandra had said in the VC that it was very rude and upsetting thing to say when someone is working. So, both of them are now saying conflicting things, and frankly, just from, like, sheer past experiences, I want to believe Chandra about this, because I'm under the impression that Azura's just saying, oh, well, no, it's completely fine, don't let Ellie be angry, because I want to bang her one day, and if she's angry, she might not, if she's angry at she won't let me bang her, and that's all that matters, right? It's like, I don't care about you. It's like, Azura doesn't care about me because she can't bang me. So then explained after expressing that she was upset and angry that she had to not be employed for a year before she got a financial aid, and even then it was barely enough to survive. Trying to take a good little screenshot of this. So both of them are basically saying that the other one is lying. It's a she said moment.
Ready to go?
Because they're both stating conflicting things, and again, yeah, I've dealt with this so much, like, with my dad and stepmom, about, like, stepmom getting angry at me over something that isn't actually real, and then my dad just going, it's like, oh, well, you should do that anyway. Like, my stepmom would make breakfast for herself, her kids, my dad, not for me. So, you know, I'd wake up to have to, I don't know, was it? I think I might have already been, I think I was already in distance learning by the time she came by, but still. Like, even the times when I had a job, during the times when I actually did leave for work in the morning, because mostly it was, like, a lot of the shifts were, like, either super early or, like, super late shifts, but there was a good period of time when I was leaving for work, like, in the morning. Wake up, like, nope, can't have any of the family's breakfast. That's the family's breakfast. Have to go and make my own breakfast before I go to work, or just go to work hungry. Can't have my own mom making me breakfast. What am I, 17? Oh, wait, 17, 18, 19? Oh, wait, I was!
Thanks.
Can't have my stepmom making me breakfast. Because I'm not one of her children, but she'll make it for my dad. Because, again, they're banging. So, you know, it's different. Lunch, again, makes it for herself, her kids, my dad, because there was at least quite a portion of time when he was doing, like, some work from home stuff. This was well before COVID, but he still did a lot of work from home. Not for me, though. During the days when I was there, nope. I couldn't, no. Of course not. Dinner would be a big family dinner, and everyone would have to sit at the table, no matter what I was doing, unless I was actually out of the house, at some event or working or whatever. If I was at the house, I had to take part in the family dinner. It was a solid, like, 2 hour commitment. Hour or two commitment. Probably probably just an hour. I'm probably over-exaggerating it. It's probably just like an hour long of just kind of just sitting there, eat some whatever food. Stepmom talks about her job and complains about her co-workers and, you know, talks about her stuff. Occasionally asks her kids how they're doing. Once every couple of days, my dad is like, oh, by the way, my child, how was your day? You did a full shift at work too. Anything exciting happen? And it's like, well, I cut myself on one of the saws today. And then stepmom was all like, okay, but anyway, at my job. Okay, but like anyway, at my job. So, whatever. Anyway, the whole... Whatever. So now... Azura's siding with Ellie saying, it's like, oh, well, she's a delicate little flower. And you upset her a little, maybe. I say that... She never told me that you upset her. Oh, no. I just know that you had upset her. That you should apologize. But I was making those jokes too because I think they're actually funny. But... Oh, no, she didn't tell me that you upset her. She's not, you know, some little child running to mommy to say... You know, it's not like your stepmom come to tell me that she doesn't like what you had said and wants me to punish you. No, that's not the case at all. But anyway, she can't tell you herself. For no reason. Yeah, Chandra says that you were upset too and that she had vocalized this at the time. It's like, alright. Oh, that does sound familiar, yes! Now that Chandra is throwing Azura under the bus, Azura's like, oh yeah, that actually does sound familiar. Hold on. I had be the new... Oh, that does sound familiar now. But yeah, basically every single time that I see Azura and Ellie in voice chat together, they always argue about nonsense. They'll do, like, I don't know, Satisfactory or whatever together, because they play Satisfactory together all the time. I tried to get Azura to play Satisfactory with me for a little bit, and she just decided that she got bored of the... No. I wanted to play some Satisfactory with Azura, and just, it's like, hey, you've been asking me to play Satisfactory with you, let's play Satisfactory together. Azura decided, oh, I want to bring Ellie along. And I was all like, okay, like, whatever. Still playing in, you know, my Let's Play thing. Okay, sure, fine, whatever. And then it was just Azura and Ellie playing Satisfactory together, and Claire's, like, off to the side doing whatever. And then there was, like, one session of that, and then Azura's all like, oh, well, your Satisfactory challenge thing is a boring idea. She just wants to play it with, but they play it together, and they argue every single time. Like, Azura will find some part of the factory that Elliot made and start painting all of it blue, because, oh, blue's my color! It's like, not even ask or anything. Not even a, oh, can I paint this? Or, would you be okay if I painted this? Just, nope! I see that it was painted yellow, I'm gonna start painting. It's not like it was unpainted. Like, I saw it, because she was playing on it while I was staying with Azura. Like, you know, in that same room with her. She was all like, oh, well, I gotta play some Satisfactory with Ellie instead. Thankfully for not so long, but... Yeah, it helps being non-neurotypical because oh my god, another ancient argument that I never understood that my parents tried to drill into me. My parent, not necessarily quite so much my teachers, but somewhat my teachers, but my parents definitely would always drill into me the whole, it doesn't matter if a kid is being mean to you, be their friend instead. Make friends with your bullies. A kid comes up to you and punches you in the face, tell them, good job, buddy! Wanna punch me again? Why don't we meet up after school every day so you can keep punching me in the face? Because that's the only way you'll make friends. Is by letting people beat you up as much as they want. So anyway, that's probably why I joined the whole BDSM community. Was because I was, like, not strictly told, but effectively told at a young age that the only way that people would dare to spend time with me was if they could take advantage of me. If they could beat me up, if I gave them things.
All right.
Yeah, basically that's it. If they beat me up, if they were beating me up, or if I gave them things, that's the only way that people would ever want to spend time with me. And, like, I mean, you see that among, like, people, like, cultures like crazy, right?
All right.
Like I said, Azura and Ellie, they always argue together. Because they both have, like, little
All right.
traits of theirs that can really get under someone's skin and drive them nuts. Like I said, yeah, Ellie is... Okay, wait. Do I want to say this? Do I know this to be true? I mean, Ellie is immature. That much
Damn it.
I've already stated, around at least. Ellie is immature.
I'm not done yet.
I'm not sure if I would necessarily call her a control freak. I'm not sure about that. It did come to mind, but I thought about it. I'm not sure if I would call her one. If she's the sort of person to be all, this has to be this way, that has to be that way sort of a thing. Because she does have some elements of it, but not necessarily to an oppressive stance. So I'm not calling her a control freak. She might be a bit of a perfectionist, but she might be a bit like, I'm not calling her that. But she is also still, like, she's not a nice person, but they're both like, God, one of them will say something offhand. Like, oh hey, that cloud looks like a duck.
Nice. Gotcha.
One of them will just say that. It's like, oh hey, that cloud looks like a duck. And then the other one would be all, oh, what kind of duck? Or, oh no it doesn't. Or it's like, oh yeah, prove it. Or it's like, oh hey, that cloud looks like a duck. Oh yeah, what kind of duck? I don't know, a mallard? A mallard is actually a type of goose. Okay, well I guess it looks like a goose then. Well, you said it looked like a duck. Like, and it doesn't matter. And it's not like one is A, one is E. Either of them could be, either role could be either of them. One of them will say something so super flippin' inconsequential, and the other will just grab it by the throat and wring it dry. Although Azura specifically has a tendency to, like, if she wants to, like, make a point of something, she will drop whatever she's doing and go look up the thing that she needs for the thing. She'll make a reference to something, and the person who's talking to will be like, what? And she'll be like, oh, you never saw that one, like, Vine clip from, like, 2015? Here, let me look it up for you. It might be on YouTube. It's fine. It's like, oh, well, let me look that up. And it's like, oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, right. Hot sauce lemonade. Right. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, yeah, I understand now. It took me a moment. I get it. No, I have to look it up for you. I have to find it for you. I have to show you what it is. Like, no, Azura, I've seen. I get what you're saying. It just took me a moment to remember. No, I have to look it up for you. It's like, Azura, we were doing so. It's like no, Azura, stop. I know what it is. No, I have to look it up. It's like, okay, here's the clip. It's like a 2-second joke as part of like a 30-minute video. I was like, hold on, let me find the exact part. It's like, oh, okay, this part. Just watch like this like minute. And it's like, Azura, I already told you. I understand what you're talking about. You don't have to do. It's like, oh well, let me just share my screen and show you this. Like, here, come on. Are you watching? Come on, get. It's like, Azura, calm down. It's okay. Meanwhile, if I say something that Azura doesn't immediately know, like we were talking, and I'd say, it's like, oh yeah, it's all good, knock knock. Who's there? It's like, no, what? You said knock knock, so I'm saying who's there. It's like, no, I said it's good, knock knock. It's like, yeah, so I'm saying who's there. It's like, you're doing a knock knock joke, obviously. So I say who's there. It's like, no, it's not a knock knock joke, it's a reference. Well, I don't know that reference, so you're doing a knock knock joke, and I say who's there. It's like, no, it's a reference. Well, what is a reference to then? It's like, episode of Sweet Life on Deck. Well, I never saw that. Okay, Azura, why don't you spend the next 5 minutes trying to look up that episode then? I know you can do it. Do you just not care when it's a reference someone else is making? According to you, the references that you make are the most important things in the world, but someone else, your girlfriend, tries to make a reference to you, and you insult her because of it. Oh, well, I've never watched that. Okay, cool, Azura, I know what video I'm going to be forcing you to watch now. Like, if you're going to be the sort of person who insists that everybody knows, like, the full context of every single reference that you make, then also be the sort of person who understands the full contents of every single reference that everyone else makes. Azura is so absolutely uninterested in anything that's, like, not revolving around her life. Like, I don't know if Azura has gotten an autism diagnosis, but she could probably get one. Like, I've been told my entire life that I have to focus on what other people like and shouldn't be talking about my own, like, interests so much unless they happen to align with other people. Like, I was told that it was a problem that I only like the things that I like. Yes. Oh, Claire, well, see, there's a problem with you. You only like the things that you like. Well, duh! It's like, no. The issue with that is, according to, you know, one random person who might or might not have been part of a psychologist or something. I haven't the foggiest what kind of a role they were doing. You know, apparently they could have just been some random teacher, a teacher's aide, or just some adult who was wandering through the school. I don't know. Apparently the issue is that when I'm talking about the things that I like, oh yeah, talk. But as soon as somebody else talks about something that they like that I don't already have a vested interest in, I just, like, shut up and, like, leave the conversation. And, like, don't pay attention to anything. Like, I've been trying to work on that. Like, say, cars. I have, like, basically no interest in cars. I had a car. It's like, whatever. It was a car. I had to know the, like, the branding because I need to know for, like, insurance purposes and, like, to describe it and stuff. Because so I say I have a car. And a lot of the time people say, oh, what kind of car? Yeah, at least, like, half the time when I told people that I had a car, they would immediately ask, like, oh, what kind of car? So I just say it's like, oh, I don't know. Apparently that would be like on me for like, oh, how do you know? It's like 2,000 Grand Am. It's white. You want me to get into any more specifics? Because I cannot. I never knew what the mileage was on it unless I was actually, well, you know, mileage, kilometerage, whatever. What the gate. It's like, I don't know if that thing drove 100,000 miles or not. Like, I don't know. Frankly, I don't care. I had a car. I barely knew anything about it. But if I'm, you know, getting a conversation with somebody and I'm trying to, you know, act interested in what they're talking about, they're like showing a very, if I'm say talking to my friend Lucky and he's talking about like all the sweet new mods and stuff he's getting for his car, gonna like up the boostage and like down the amperage. I don't know what this stuff is. But it's like, ah, okay, hey, cool. It's like, oh, what's that going to do for it? It's like, oh, it's going to make it use less fuel. Hey, that's awesome. Or it's like, oh, it's going to make the music better. It's like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Absolutely. I'm trying to, you know, this is something that you're into, and I'm trying to be a good friend and, like, hear you out about that. It's like, I try. I'm not, like, the best at it, because of course I'm not. I'm not necessarily even average at it, but I at least try to show an interest in things that I have no interest in. It'd be nice if other people could do the same pleasure, you know, the same for things. Azura is even now trying to write herself off as being the sort of person who doesn't really care about stuff.
Nice.
And yeah, she is the sort of person who doesn't really care about stuff. Unless it's something she's interested in, then she will grab you by the throat and force feed you the stuff. Doesn't care if you are interested or not interested or already know about it or what. She will force it down your throat.
Thanks.
Anyway. Because that's what's important right now. So if Azura makes a reference to something, I have to be right there to go, oh, I know what that reference is. Or else, there's the next 10 minutes of my life gone. Because Azura is all like, oh, well, I have to show you this clip now. Let me go look for it. No, we can't keep up our conversation. I have to show you this clip. And then, after the clip is done and been shown, so it's like, oh, I don't know what we're talking about, so we're just going to be talking about something that I want to talk about now. It's like, oh, well, actually, we are talking about the, like, people that I was, like, playing card games with at the convention. Oh, well, fine. So it's like, okay, well, you could just tell me that you don't want to talk with me. It's like, you could just tell me that you're not interested in anything that I'm interested in. Like, you could just flat out tell me, I'm an adult. I can understand when somebody is, if you say, oh, I actually don't want to hear about the day that you had today. I'd rather just tell you about, like, not even about my own day. I'd rather just tell you about, like, this game. I haven't been playing it lately, but I saw, like, somebody mentioned a YouTube video that I saw today. So I'm just going to, like, talk about this game that you've never heard of before instead. And it's like, I don't even play it myself really, but I saw, like, an ad for it once. So I'm gonna just, like, talk about it like I'm an expert. Honestly, really, I want to, oh, God. I really want to get a house one day. I want to get a house, have my own place that I can actually, like, own and, like, paint the walls and decorate, have, like, a multi-floor building. Because, like, in my apartment, it's basically, I'm in the bedroom. It's like, if I want to, like, lounge, like, whatever. If I want to lounge, I'm either in the bedroom or the living room. Those are my places to lounge. And then there's a kitchen and bathroom for, like, doing things. Also, living room and bedroom for doing things as well. But it's, like, there's basically 4 places in the whole house. In the whole apartment for things. bedroom, living room, kitchen, and bathroom. Right. Bedroom, living room, kitchen, bathroom. That's it. That's it. 4 places for things. In a house, like that one, like 4-story house that I found. Like, even going floor by floor. 3 top floor bedrooms. It's like, okay, so 3 bedrooms right there. Then you go to the main floor. There's a nice sized living room. It's a living room and a kitchen in there. Oh no, I think the upstairs also has a bathroom, right? Yeah. I think the upstairs does this in one of the basements. And then you go to like the basement. And there's like a lounging area there. As well as like an office room. And then like, yeah, I wonder if I should see about just getting my own like 100K value house and try and get just my own 1-person mortgage for it. So yeah, this is my little shack. It's mine. I can paint the walls how I want to. Get myself a 20-year mortgage by myself, you know? Because,
Oh, right.
like, I know, blah, blah, blah. Azura is her own person. I can't expect her to, like, drop everything all the time to do only what I want. But, like, I was there staying with her for, like, a weekend. I get home from the, like, this past weekend. I get home, whatever. Get back to her place from the convention. And
Come on.
it's like,
hurry
oh,
up
you're here.
already.
Cool. Let me spend the next 4 hours playing this one game with my back to you. Occasionally I'll talk to you, whatever. Okay, I'm done with this. And now we can hang out. Let me just play this game for the next 4 hours. Now that you're here, let me not do anything with you. It'd be as if we're over Discord again, except I'm not able to do anything of my own. Literally. It's like, oh, well, I want to do 1 week of this game every single day, and I don't care that you're here now. This game takes priority over you because, oh, I can't play this when you're gone. Oh, no, I can't, you know, just not play this game for the weekend or whatever. Like, if it was the case, like, oh, let me just finish up this one day, then we can do stuff, blah, 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 rest of the day takes, like, maybe an hour. At the very most, if the day had, like, just started, it was a particularly long day. Like, whatever, it's like, okay, now we can spend, like, 4 hours together, and then it's bedtime, and it's like, okay, fine. She was doing something, let her finish it, be done. No, it's just like, oh, let me finish up this day. Oh, and then the next, like, 6 after that. Let me spend, I'm pretty sure on at least one of the evenings we had together, she literally played that straight up to bed and didn't even finish the week. But yeah, that was the thing. I'd get back from the convention, it's like, oh my gosh, I had such a day at the convention. Be like, da 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 da. It's like, hey, let me show you the things I got. I'll look later. Like, one of the days, she, like, pulled out a chair so I could at least, like, have a seat to, like, sit next to her.
Nice.
And I literally had to, like, take the things and put them on her desk in front of her to be all like, oh yeah, that looks cool. And it's like, Azura, I know that you're still under the whole mentality of being, like, but I don't want to say that the things specifically apply to her. I'm saying that these are stereotypes. I know that you're still under the mentality of being part of the, what is it, worthless gamer? It's like, I know that stereotypes like that hit hard and it's hard to, like, see yourself as differently, but you're not helping yourself here. It's like, oh, well, why don't we play a game together? Like, one of the days I had, like, suggested, like, hey, why don't we play a game together? And she had made such a disgusted noise about it. It's like, no, she wants to just sit. It's like she had a long day at work. She wants to sit there and play a game where she is working. Literally, the game she was playing was a person working a Monday through Friday job. And that's what, like, whatever. People have weird, different tastes for how they want to relax. But, like, nope. She didn't care that I was there. And then, of course, if I told her about that, she'll be all like, oh, well, I do care that you were there. I want to spend time together with you. It's like, your idea of spending time together was sitting with your back to me, playing your game by yourself. Like, I could literally just, like, pack up my things, go sit in the other room. And she would, like, not come in to look for me for a couple of, like, I could just, like, you know, pick up my thing. It's like, hey, sir, I'm here, blah, 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 sit up. Like, sit on the bed behind her, blah, 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 blah. Try talk, blah, 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 blah. No. Just pick up my stuff, go to the other room without saying a word. And I could just have lounged there by myself for a couple of hours before Azura would finally come. It's like, oh, hey, why'd you leave? It's like, oh, well, because we weren't doing anything together, so I figured I'd watch my own YouTube videos so I don't disturb you playing your games and watching your YouTube videos. Oh. Oh. And then she's like, and then she just like leave to go back to her own office because she has Azura has her own little world and she doesn't want it to be messed with or interacted with at all. And yet she also wants to have like 17 girlfriends. She wants to have like a whole bunch of girlfriends and show all of them how important they are, but not a single one of them is allowed to impact her, you know, relaxation schedule. Yeah, we're not important enough to make her want to do stuff with us. So, right. Yeah, if Sarah heard that, she would, of course, want to argue. But it's like, yeah, sure, you can say big words, but it's like, is anything that you're saying counter to... It's like, are any things you're saying actually true, though? Like, yeah, sure, you can say that. It's like, oh, but I definitely want to spend time with you and play games with you. It's like, really? What games did we play together all weekend? We did one game of Super Fight on Sunday night because I finally, like, guilt-tripped her into playing just about. And I told her, like, Azura, I am leaving tomorrow morning. Can we at least play one game? It's like, okay, fine. So we played a game of Super Fight. She had loved it and told me I should get more cards. Like, well, if we had played this on Friday or Saturday, like I had been wanting to and telling you that we should, I could have gone in on Saturday or Sunday to the convention and bought more. And then she was just like, oh, well, too bad. So yeah, I don't... Like, these kinds of things always pop up, so I don't really want to get a place with her, but I do want to get a place, and I don't think I could get a place by myself. Maybe I should look at the $100,000 houses. Try to save up myself for a nice $5,000 down payment. Get a mortgage for it, and I don't know, 20-year mortgage. Be almost, yeah, I'd be almost 50 by the time I'd own the tiny little place, but at least it would be mine. It probably would be smaller than my apartment, so really what's the point? I want space. I want to be able to, like, you know, pick up what I'm doing, just go somewhere else and just have a different vibe. So my apartment, I either have the bedroom vibe, or I have the living room vibe, or strictly speaking, the bathroom vibe. That's, like, it. There's not much around. I want more. What if it's not time to just try to find a whole new girlfriend in Edmonton to start doing stuff with? But I mean, dating scene is way too intimate for my tastes. I need to find someone else who's ace. Did I mention? Yeah, I'm probably ace. Heck if I would know, right?